Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for December 15th, 2019, 3 p.m. Eastern. When we understand what's happening, what's transpiring, and when you're empowered yourself, that you finally accepted the shift, so to speak, been called many things, and you see the craziness that's everywhere. It's, the last, I guess you could call it the last vestiges of the low frequencies on this planet. And I think that and people say, well, how would you know that? Well, each of us feels that vibration. Because if you're part of everything, and you're conscious, and you're clear, and you have acknowledged the fact that you are the God, and that you're in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond it, forever, then you can literally click into it of the different frequencies. You can monitor them. You don't absorb them. You don't become part of them. But you can literally click into just every avenue and know what's transpiring. This is why our direction is within, and the understanding of our expansion of who and what we are. So when you look at this craziness, unprecedented in the history of the planet, you see that there's another world, a much different world. And we have tapped into that world. And when you understand that once you bring yourself, and only you can do it, nobody else can. No amount of study and research, all that stuff. It is the journey within that you start opening up the doors of knowledge. And you start understanding that you're all that there is. You're all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. You are connected. When we talk about the golden ocean, you being, all of us being the drop, all drops of the golden ocean, and that drop holds the essence of that ocean. So this means that we are connected to all of it. We're part of all of it. We are it. So it's, you see how they've trained us. Who's they? The archons, the overseers and the constructs of this planet, and this quadrant of the galaxy. So they know this, see, and yes, we are gods, but we're tricked. And we're tricked. We've been tricked forever. But as we become supreme consciousness, we then begin to understand without anger, without frustration, without fear, without aggression, with deep eternal love, and the deepest, and the highest of gratitudes, we then see, we feel everything. And it's automatic, we can just click into it. You say, okay, so we transition into this new world. Picture this, okay, because this is what's transpiring. You see a transition with this world. And the transition goes from helter-skelter, debauchery, criminality, hate, greed, ego, on and on and on. And it starts shifting. And as it shifts into higher frequency. How does it do that? Well, Gaia, Earth, is resting. We are assisting, while she's resting, to harmonize the planet through these meditations and through our genuine, generous, humble, awareness. So a monetary system, which is transition, where everybody ends up becoming wealthy, where we don't use our bodies, hard physical labor. We use our thought. You see? We've been trained as a civilization that we have to use our physical bodies. This is what breaks us down. Seriously, these bodies were not meant to do hard physical labor for 30 years. They just weren't. They aren't constructed that way. We're constructed to advance our intellect, our thought processes. This is why we go into these guided meditations to understand who and what we are. Then, once we understand it, embrace it, and then expand upon it. So, we are creating this. No one else is, by the way. We are. We are Source. We are the God. We are the kingdom of God. And once this civilization, without ego, without the ego mind supervising it all, that'd be an absolute disaster. And the heart mind is the master. And so through the heart mind, overseeing the ego mind, eventually ego mind will dissipate and leave. The subconscious mind will be cleared out. We will, at will, whenever we choose, we could fill the subconscious mind with all positive, uplifting, wonderful experiences. It's like our heaven bag of experience. And so, as we do this, you can feel the frequencies lifting you right in the heart center, right where your chest, your solar plexus. You can feel the vibration. You don't even have to think about it. It's just coming in. You know why? Because we're all doing it. We're creating it. We're uplifting the frequencies. We're finding out about ourselves. We're forgiving ourselves. See? And we're loving ourselves. We're learning that, and we're learning how to be kind to ourselves and delicate to ourselves and gentle. And we're learning that we are immortal supreme beings. That we can travel anywhere, do anything, create anything. It's just sinking in. We're absorbing it and processing it, but we know it's true because just by the vibrational frequency. We're looking at a world that we're creating, all of us. As we continue to grow, we're creating a world that is the way we want it, desire it, as gods. A God planet. A planet that is full, teeming with life. No pollution, no war, no greed, no jealousy, none of that. It's gone. And we have a depository for those who are not ready to advance. By advancing, I'm talking about knowing themselves, loving themselves, knowing and understanding that they are the God, that they are source creation, and they will have as much time as they require to finally come around the bend and do what we're doing. Okay? Not all of us are in sync with these frequencies, which makes that there's no difference between those who are beginning to stir and those that have already awakened. You're awakened when you come to this meditation and you participate in it. Not only that, and all the letters and communications I get from people is that this continues for me. In their own way, the meditation continues throughout the day. They're reminding themselves of who and what they are. This is spectacular. It's phenomenal. It just isn't. We come to this as a family, and we perform these meditations. We become that which we are, the gods, source creation, and we're shifting the planet, healing her, and eventually this whole solar system. And we have all kinds of allies, all different parts of Source that we're part of, say. And so as we assemble, we expand. Our awareness, our depth, our consciousness, our clarity expands, increases, becomes stronger. We are not, how do you put it? We're not blanked. And there's another planet, like I said, it's on the other side of the sun, and it will accommodate those who are still in 3D effectiveness. And eventually, when they're ready, they will progress. All in all, when we get to a certain understanding of who and what we are, then we decide that we would like to expand out more and inhabit a new physical form. Now, this is not unusual, by the way. We've all done it through billions of years, trillions of years, where you become one with the God that you are. This way, you understand that the body is sacred because it carries you. So obviously, you perform certain technologies and so on and so forth so that the body does not retire, and the only time it will retire is when you decide to exit. It's a whole different ballgame. It's not like this, the way they've done it here on this planet where, the body retires and you leave it. Then you go to a construct where you're convinced that this is what it is, and it is not. And this is long enough, this has been going on, and it must cease so that we understand who and what we are, the full scope of who and what we are, so that we can continue our journeys. Our journeys are endless. When we decide to go back into Source, that's up to us. No one else. Nothing else. So, the empowerment that you're all experiencing, and you understand how this has been put together. This is a lot more than global guided meditation. The information that is being shared with everyone is beyond the beyond. And it is put in such a frequency through communication that it is very subtle. And your heart minds pick it up. And it's delicate. And it's omnipotently potent. And it expands and nurtures and embraces. And as you feel it, and it's real light, it's very high frequency, it is the source of all that there is. Ever will be, ever has been, ever beyond, and forever. And we're that source. We're part of it. This planet is going to expand. It is going to grow. It always has. When this body was first formed, it was basically a rock, so to speak. And then as it expanded, gave way to atmosphere, then the rest is history. Now, we'll have more land on this planet than we do now. And it literally is going to be like a super planet, a God super planet. And it's already in motion. It's already shifting. We're running through a massive energy field, photon energy belt, which is basically, concentrated forms of plasma energy, gathering and expressing itself in a high frequency. And so it will take us, because we're traveling through space. This whole solar system is traveling. And as we do that, it's taken me about 2,000 years before we're through this photon energy field. And that's why so many people on this planet are feeling waves, a little dizziness, lightheadedness. Whoa, what's going on? It has nothing to do with the body breaking down. It has everything to do with massive waves of frequency. And people say, well, when are they coming? They've been going on for a long time, guys. They're not coming. They're already here every day. Every day, 24/7, saturating us, the planet, atmosphere, the whole solar system. And so 100 plus planets. And so when we understand that, we're not waiting for something to happen. You see how that works? To get us into a form of waiting for something to happen, when we are the very energy, the very power to create things to take place. Okay? We don't wait for things. That's external authority. We create things. That's the God within. So remember that when you find yourself waiting for something, or asking someone who you believe can give you external authority direction, when is this going to happen? When is this going to take place? And you're waiting for it, when you are the very creator of what you're waiting for. You see how it works? You see how tricky it is? So, nothing is unobtainable. Nothing. The only thing that's unobtainable is for you to understand that if you give the power to the ego mind, then nothing's obtainable. It never will be, because the ego mind is never satisfied. Through the heart mind overseeing the ego mind, subconscious mind, everything is obtainable. And it's all obtainable without wanting or desiring, because it is already us. And once we make that full spectrum understanding, then your connection with Source is constant, and then you're conscious of it, and then everything flows to you. That's a guaranteed fact. It all flows to you. And with your clarity and understanding of things, of your forgiveness, of surrendering, all of these steps that you repeatedly practice with yourself through the heart mind, you begin to realize is that I am the creator. I am that I am. We are all one. And we are all love. And it's whatever I desire. And since you are in love, your desires are for the greater good, for yourself and the rest of the civilization. Because you are not low frequency. You have lifted your frequency higher and higher. So in higher frequencies, our direction of creation is for the greater good of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And we are one. We're all one. We are all love. And we're connected to every molecule, every atom, everywhere. Because we are Source. Source created us. Source is everywhere. You can't escape Source. Even these low frequencies, they're part of Source. Just like, you poison water and you get some parts of the water that die because it loses oxygen and everything. You know what we are? We're the oxygen. We create life. We form things just through the heart mind and overseeing the ego mind. So we choose thoughts and we make them into realities. And we're conscious of the thoughts that we embrace. And we create anything we desire, because anything that we desire is literally connected to deep eternal love, joy, peace, happiness, bliss. And our joy is serving others, serving ourselves. thought. You realize how much faster the God planet things are going to take place when the civilization is based upon thought and high frequency, so that you will think things into being. It's not far off. Most of us have this understanding. We're just a little bit shaky about it because the ego mind has been in charge for so long, and when you switch authority to the heart mind, the ego mind doesn't like it. So Gaia, in her enthusiasm, to know that there are those of us who are clear and conscious through the heart mind that are here to assist her and all life on this planet. All life on her, in her, above her, below her. And this meditation is the God planet. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure most of you are. First thing we do is we relax our bodies. Most of the things that we experience that are physically connected, first emotional, then physical, are due to us. They aren't due to anybody else. They're due to us. Okay? And basically, it's through our clarity, consciousness, and our ascension, as we literally advance with our consciousness, we shift that. And it's always about us. It's always about you. People say, well, that's narrow-minded. No, it isn't, say. It's because unless we are in tune with ourselves, we will never have unification across the planet. It must be with each and every one of us. It's a cascading effect. And it is a saturation point for the civilization. Eventually, the majority of us will be in high frequency. And as we expand and spread. And this is what's going to transform Gaia into the God planet. So we relax our bodies. We surrender all the things that the ego mind has created over the past 24 hours, or for however long we carry this stuff. We release it. We surrender. We let it go. As if we had nothing. As if we had nothing. And to feel it through the heart mind. And it isn't, it comes in not as a fear, because that's another thought of creation. Fear is generated through thought of the ego mind. So, when you realize that you're in charge, you're the master and commander. So the body releases, it relaxes. All the stored up things, all the things that it's really strange, we carry them and we don't need them. And we refer to them and we don't need them. We've already experienced the experience. So it's there. We already know. So but we don't need to go into them. We carry the essence of the experience through the forward movement and the increasing of our frequencies to the awareness and consciousness and clarity of who and what we are, and that is creators, gods, benevolent beings, tranquil, all-loving, all-knowing, all-seeing. This is where we are going. Without the ego, it's just a fact. It doesn't need volumes of explanation and analytics. It is a fact. The only way you will know the true power of who and what you are is by going within you, seeking out the God that you are and the kingdom of God that resides within you. It's the only way. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm sure most of you agree, every other way it's failed. So we relax the body, we surrender, we go into a much softer, kinder existence. And as we relax the body, all this stuff just flies off of us. You don't need it. We say, oh, I really never needed that. And then when we can just literally let go, surrender, letting go, you're surrendering everything as if you have nothing. Watch what happens. And all of a sudden you realize you start to understand and embrace who and what you are. And one of your best allies is the universe, because you're part of it. So as we relax the body, we move into the now. The now focuses and centers us. Everything happens in the now. The past, the present, the future. Right now, and in the now, we are creating our future. Eventually, we will become so good at creating our futures that we will be able to tailor them the way we want them. See? And of course, we can put things in there that would surprise us too. So our adventure continues to advance and expand, our journey. And then as we move into the now and we relax our bodies, we have stillness of the mind. And the ego mind is in the back seat, taking a nap. And the subconscious mind is sitting in the back seat taking a nap. So you are just in the now. Total beingness. No interruptions, no thoughts, just being. And this focuses us on the now. And it stills the mind in the incessant chatter and noise. And we become in peace, tranquility, benevolence, just by being. And so we have no motivation to go into the past to create our future. There's no motivation to go into the past, grab all of the things that we have done and experienced in the past, which occupies us, and then dragging it into the future to create the future of a past that we had already experienced. Does it make any sense? And then we want to breathe. Breathing in these bodies is very important for us. It allows us to focus. Breathing, breathing in through the nose and out the mouth, holding it for 1001, 1002, 1003, and then exhaling through the mouth, doing this at least 6 times while I'm talking. The breath literally focuses us on the now. That's what it's for. All of those of you who are just now entering this meditation. It stills the mind. When you focus on something, I'm sure you've all experienced this, you focus on something, so let's just take the breath. You focus on the breathing, and that's all you focus on. You're not, you're not over here with this thought or that thought or that thought. You ever been doing something, and you're totally oblivious to what you're doing in the now because you're thinking of so many things in the past and the future? Huh? And so you're not concentrating or focusing on what you're doing in the now. And this is a lot of times where we'll cut ourselves accidentally because we're not paying attention to the now that we're in. We are so much wandering off into the past and into the future. This is so, the breathing focuses us, and it's a wonderful vehicle in the now. It supercharges our bodily functions, taking in the oxygen. So as we breath in through the nose, we're breathing in divine positive energy. This is everywhere. For if source was low frequency, there would be no existence of anything. It would be always in a self-destruct path. So you understand that all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever is high frequency. Just little pieces of chipped godlight energy. is in low frequency. They would have you believe that all of it, most of it, is in low frequency. That is totally not true. So as we understand that this civilization begins to comprehend, it is creation. It is source. It is love. It is joy. It is bliss. It can choose to be in the lower frequencies of hate, pain, sorrow, anguish, struggle, stress, strife, fear. All thoughts, all dictated through the ego mind to us, where we will, and enslaving the heart mind and literally creating the very existence that we are not interested in experiencing. It's always, it's the way it's always been. That's why it's changed, because we surrender and we become one with ourselves, and we are all one, and we are all love. So the divine positive energy, doesn't it make sense? You're the God. You're on a God planet. Does it ring for you? We're not on a destructive, low-file frequency, sludgy, dark, crummy, planetary body that's dead. Say, we are the God. We are creating God planet. We are clearing the low frequencies, transmuting them into neutral light substance, sending them back to the great central sun with deep eternal love and deep, deep, deep gratitude. That's it. We're doing house cleaning, and we're expanding. We do it without fear. We do it without anger. We do it without stress. We do it fluidly, joyously, happily, blissfully, tranquil, benevolent, non-judging, non-ego. And it's a blanket, it's a wave that keeps washing over this entire planet inside now. Because we are the planet. We're part of Gaia. We're part of the grass, the trees, everything. We're part of the sacredness of space. We're part of the pulsars. We're part of the suns, the different stars. We're part of the black holes. We're part of everything. See? So doesn't it make sense that eventually we're able to tune into everything that we are? Now, as we breathe out, we breath out. We know with the breathing out why we're in these bodies, okay? It's just always this ego mind, and we know that it's there. It constantly is after us to embrace thoughts that create negativity, stress, and fear, because it's always wanting and getting and having. It's just, and the more we do it, the more uneasy we feel, and the more burdened we feel, and the more stress we feel. See? And the balance is shifting. We can all feel it. It's shifting from the ego mind to the heart mind. And so we know this, so as we breath out, we surrender. Now, we are one. So the archangels are with us right now. They're always with us. We don't, people say, well, you can call on them. They're part of us. So you feel them. You don't even need to, it's not about, we think this verbal that we're supposed to call them, and it's more of a feeling. It's a frequency. So you shift your frequency to connect with them. And they are there. And there are trillions of them. They don't take up space like we see ourselves taking up space. because they vibrate at a different, higher frequency than we do at this current time, or in this current place. Eventually, we'll be on the same frequency, and we'll be able to see them all just like we see everything else. But the most important thing is that we feel everything through the heart-mind. You ever notice that some blind people can see better than those with eyes? Everything's really twisted on this planet. Do you know that there are civilizations that don't have eyes and noses or mouths? Ears either. Well, how do they navigate? They feel everything, and it forms an actual visual in their inner God, the gods that they are part of. They're part of the God. So they feel everything. They assimilate it. They create the motion view. Like we put picture puzzles together in our heart mind. They perform a motion view. It's quite fascinating. So you have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, and their frequency is very high. So we're all vibrating only of the highest, of deepest eternal love, and from the highest of deepest eternal love. This is high frequency. It's the only way we can all be together in such harmony. Low frequencies cannot sustain themselves with us, period. They can't hold form. This is why we're all protected. This is why we're encased in these spheres. This field, kind of a dampening field, an energy expansion, and we flourish together. And this exercise for us is to get acclimated to the fact that we truly are all one. So we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, bliss, joy, happiness, non-fearing, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness. These are all high frequencies, and we are all one. Descended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Cell, Hell, and Thoth. Many more. Their frequencies are very high. They've ascended out of physical form. They are now just in God form. They aren't inhabiting any form. We are God's inhabiting form. And they're of the highest of the deepest eternal love and gratitude. Non-judging, benevolent, tranquil, kind, peaceful, joyous, happy, blissful, humble, generous, non-ego, non-cynicism, non-negativity. That doesn't exist. And we're all here right now. We're all arm in arm, hand in hand. We have literally formed a circle of God light frequency. And we are embracing the equator of this sister, this mother, Gaia, the earth. And we are helping her rest so she could be regenerated. And we are helping her as cleaning up things, eliminating the low frequencies by being love. They cannot sustain. So we form this, and everything's encased. It's like a field, and the veil is population is disintegrating, and things are shifting more and more and higher frequency. Deep, eternal love. Deep, eternal gratitude. And the paradise that is rightfully ours is beginning, and it will continue to advance to show itself. The emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael, it's our healing power. It's our healing frequency. It's a frequency. Light is frequency. Color is frequency. And taking on different forms. So, the purple, violet, blue, flaming light of Archangel Michael, this is our strength. I guess you could call it resolve, commitment, confidence without ego. It is a disintegrator of highly agitated, survival, low matter frequencies, dark matter frequencies. We have the white fire, which is our celestial armor. Okay? In other words, if the God within, the God that we are, is somehow is some force trying to violate it, the white fire is the armor that repels that attempt. The purple transmuting flame, it is our power to eliminate the low frequencies, transmute them into neutral light substance, and have them be gone. The violet ray, this is a cleansing frequency of energy, light. And it purifies the area where we just got through transmuting the dark matter frequencies into neutral light substance. It's quite finite, but it's very detailed and complete, yet simple. The golden white pink light of Prime Source Creator God, Mother, Father God, the feminine and the masculine of the God, and the God of God, Source Creation, which has created everything out of love. So we advance, and we move, and we go outside the body. And as we're floating up above the planet, we see and feel through the heart mind all of our brothers and sisters, all the parts, all from Source, all the light energy beings, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever, all of the high frequencies, deep eternal love from it, from deep eternal love, and from the highest of deepest eternal love. Non-judging, non-ego, blissful, happy, joyous, generous, humble, kind, peaceful, tranquil, benevolent. And they are with us. They join us in the Google plexus. They fill countless universes. And they just stream in. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they're with us in this circle of light, in this meditation, in this now. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest gratitudes, and we're all one. We are all love, and our God, light, energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, all of these civilizations, and they too are part of the one. And they too vibrate, only the ones that join us vibrate at the highest of deepest eternal love, and from the highest of deepest eternal love. They're in non-judgment, non-ego. stillness, peace, joy, bliss, happiness, benevolence, tranquility, kindness. And they're with us, arm in arm, hand in hand, in this circle of light, in this now, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. We are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the galactics and off-worlders, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, many, many, many more. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, of the highest of high frequencies, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. Now, they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are of complete joy, full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of the mind, peace, joy, bliss, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness, and kindness. And they are with us, arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited, and only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness of mind, happiness, bliss, peace, tranquil, benevolent, generosity, humble. And they come into billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are all one. We are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet, Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, because their frequencies are of the highest high. They're in non-judgment, benevolent, tranquil, non-ego, stillness of mind, generous, humble, kind, blissful, happy. And the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaids, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they're all in full compassion. And they're all in kindness. And they're all in deep eternal love. And they come in shapes, sizes, and forms, and colors, and configurations of which we have never seen in the trillions. And arm in arm, hand in hand, they are with us in this meditation, in this circle of light, and this now. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are in the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere with source love energy. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. It can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It floods us. It floods Gaia. It saturates us, our God, our bodies. It fills us with the deep knowing is that we are the God. Therefore, this planet is the God planet. And we advance in the deepness of who and what we are. And all those on this planet, in it, above it, below it, on it, are being flooded and saturated with the understanding and the highest of high frequencies directly from source creation that they too are the God. And that this planet is a paradise. And that all negatives, all low energy frequencies, all those who wish to do harm, all miscombobulated direction, all misunderstanding, all manipulation of the ego mind are ceasing. And the more we sense the journey within, the more this dissipates, the more that this planet becomes the God planet, which means there is nothing but bliss, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness, stillness, non-ego, non-judging, all of it gone. How? Because we increased our vibrational frequency through the gods that we are. Hence, this is the God planet. We are the gods. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close you out. charge of your thoughts. You've surrendered to the God that you are. There's nothing that is in your way. You have taken yourself out of the way and are journeying into the kingdom of God that you are. So take that with you the rest of the day into the evening, night, and the following morning. We're having a short call. It is just testimonials for people that are beginning the last few weeks on liquid gold to share. This call will be used for anybody that wants people to hear what, just testimonials, that's all it is. Genuine, heartfelt, what people have been experiencing with this formula. We're going to do that with Fulmina. We're going to do that with any of the formulations that we're able to surface and basically use and know that they're very effective and that they work. So that call will be at 9 p.m. tomorrow night on this line. Might want to have people come there so that they can get a bird's eye view of what this formulation has been doing in the beginning stages for people.